Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's Marquita from AtHomeWithQuita. Welcome. So glad that you're here today joining me for another video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys 7 things to do in your planner to start the month off right. So if you're new to my channel, this is your first time watching, hopefully you'll stick around and consider subscribing and also give me a thumbs up if you enjoy this video. So let's jump on into those 7 things that I do to make sure that I have a successful month. If you want to see that, make sure to keep watching. Hey guys, alright, so this video is super important for me and my planning process. And so I wanted to share with you guys some things that I do a little bit prior to the month to make sure that my month jumps off right. I have the most successful month ever. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to share all of that with you guys. So we're going to head on over to my overhead view and I'm going to show you guys on paper and kind of in motion how I plan for those things, how I write it all in, where I track it. We're going to do that all today. I want you guys to have a super productive month. It is just kind of starting out the year, so you still have time to get your life together and get your planning in order. And so this monthly planning is very essential to making sure for me that I have a great year. And so let's get started with that. And I'm going to show you everything. Hopefully this is helpful to you. So let's jump in. All right, guys. So in this video, I thought it would be cool to share with you guys some things that I do in my planner every month to make sure that I have a successful month. I'm going to be sharing with you 7 things today. So maybe on a future video, I'll get into some more things, but these are probably the most essential, the most important things that I do a little bit prior to the month to plan for my month ahead to make sure that I stay on track with everything that needs to be done. All right, guys, so this is my catch-all planner. This is where I hold everything that pertains to our household. I'm going to try to speak slow and clear, just for those who may be new to planning and they may be using this video as kind of like a foundation to build upon to start their whole planner journey. And so I'll try to make it as user-friendly as possible. So when I start my month out, there are several things that I do. Again, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 7 things. So for me, the start of the month is just a great time to get myself organized and get my home organized. And so starting the month off right is going to help you keep your whole month running smoothly. And it's going to help you stay on top of those tasks during the month. So that is why it is important to talk about these 7 things to start the month off right. And that's why it's essential for me to do these 7 things. So I'm going to open my planner up and we're going to kind of walk through that process and I'll show you kind of how that works out on paper. All right, so that all starts for me with my monthly spread or my monthly layout. So just a disclaimer, a lot of things that you're going to see throughout this planner, if you're new to planning or just new to my channel in general, are decorative elements. You don't need them. I'm going to be sharing with you the essentials of how to, plan your monthly, get your monthly started off right. So don't get distracted by all the pretty things. I'll be doing another flip through on my channel to share with you guys some of the things I've added because I know you probably are like, what is happening? So don't get distracted. So for me, there are 2 separate sort of monthly spreads for me or monthly inserts that I'll use. I use the At a Glance, which is the whole entire year, but I also do drill down to things on the monthly here. So as you can see, January had a couple of appointments and I haven't yet planned for February. That's kind of what we're talking about today since it's the start of February. So although this is a full year, you can also drill things down by the monthly here as well. And so I start here, especially if I have like an appointment or something that comes up. I put it here first, but let me show you my actual calendar monthly. I just wanted to show you that as well because that is a part of my process. So here is my monthly calendar. On your monthly calendar, you really want to make sure that you're making note of anything that changes month to month. I also do add recurring things here. You want to put your kids, your family activities, appointments, meetings, deadlines, events, pour it out on your monthly spread. It kind of should start here on your monthly. And what you're going to do from your monthly is you're going to transfer it over week by week and add those appointments in. But if it's not here on the monthly, it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to be able to plan your weeks. So as you can see, I write in everything that's reoccurring. Again, I have meetings on certain days of the week, so I'm going to go ahead and write those in first, and I'm going to build around that because I want to make sure that I'm not double booking myself. So this is really meant to be a snapshot of your month and to keep you on track and also help remind you of what is happening this month as you're making it. And so for me, I do also have a work planner, so I do keep that separate. And so I'll go ahead and plan my videos, my meetings, my phone calls, and all of that stuff on my business planner. And if it's super important, I'll come here and write it on this planner as well. But pretty much I try to keep those two things separate so that I have a work life and I have a home life, and that seems to help for me. And so the first thing that you'll want to make sure you're doing to have a successful month is you'll want to come and you'll want to plan out your month. Now, it doesn't have to be in a planner like you see here, a paper planner. It can be a wall calendar, a desk calendar. There's so many different options there. But for me, I'm a visual person. I like to see things in front of me. So I love writing things in. I love a actual paper planner. You can also go digital if you would like. But for me, what works best for me is actually writing it in, sitting down every week, writing it in. And so that's the first step in the process. And again, I did talk to you guys about my at a glance, because I will come here and I'll kind of dump things out here, because I feel like this is great to be able to see everything on 2 pages for the whole entire year. So I'll come here first and I'll write everything out for the year, and then I'll come over to my monthly and I'll see what I have going on for that particular month. And that is where I'll start my monthly and kind of build on what already exists in my at a glance. So first thing is a monthly. Set your monthly up for success. All right, so the second thing that you'll want to do to make sure that you start the month off right is you'll want to create or check your budget. So now I do have a financial section in my catch-all planner, and within this section it's just random things. I'll stick a bill in here. As you can see, I do have a bill in here, which I'll probably blur out. And then I have some things that I need to order for the business and personally, which I'll probably block out too. And so that's pretty much what I track here in my catch-all planner. And then I do have a dedicated budget planner. And I am not always the most consistent with it. When it comes to household budgeting, we have a spreadsheet that my husband and I use. When it comes to my personal business finances, we do have a separate spreadsheet that we recently implemented that we got from Etsy. But when I was budgeting in the paper planner, like you see here, which I do have videos on my channel of, this is the planner that I was using, which is the Notique planner. So I kind of go back and forth between this and digital, because again, I am a person that likes to see things on paper. But you definitely want to make sure that you have a budget if you're grown up and you want to make sure that you kind of keep track of that, if you know, the best way possible. And when it comes to budgeting, it doesn't have to be a big daunting task. Just make a column list. You can do that as well. Take a sheet of paper, make a column list. One side is what your expected monthly income is, and on the other side, you can put your monthly expenses. It doesn't have to be a big, huge hoopla. It can be something just super simple. Now, when I do paper planning, in terms of budgeting, I use my monthly, as you can see, again, in every planner for me, it all starts with the monthly. And then I do a paycheck budget, which let me show you how it actually looks. So this was only just to track my YouTube and my, shop expenses and income and things like that, not our family expenses. I do have videos on my channel again, if you want to go and check out some of my budgeting videos. Right now, again, I'm doing a hybrid. So I'm just showing you as an example. I'm not showing you the current month. We're just kind of talking through in general terms. And so I did a paycheck bill tracker, which means over here, I did my income breakdown. I did my bills. I did a cash list, cash envelope system. I had sinking funds. Then this is for debt and savings. So again, it doesn't have to be this complicated. You can literally just take an expense tracker, write in all your expenses as you're spending. So again, it doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be such a hoopla or a long drawn out process or a deep process. You just literally want to keep track of expenses. So you could have just an expense log, and then you want to kind of have an idea of what your income is and your bills and things like that. So that can literally just be done on a sheet of paper. But if you want to go deeper and you want to get out some inserts and you want to order some things online to track things, you go for it. But I definitely would implement some sort of budget. And as the month goes on, you want to try to keep the list as accurate as possible for what you're making and what you're spending your money on. So each month, that's going to become easier for you, and it's going to become more accurate as you get a better picture of your spending. And as you become better at tracking it, you can start to improve the budget by going more into details and limiting different areas of leisure and spending to save money. So that's going to be an important part of this process as well. And that gets better over time. Again, I'm still a newbie at this. I'm still trying to get my life when it comes to it. It's so complicated sometimes for me, you know, and it's just so many moving parts because again, we do have a business and then we do have personal expenses and household expenses and things like that. So it gets a little tricky. So if it sounds difficult to you, try to get a budget workbook maybe. And again, this is a budget workbook. And that's what I was saying, that it could be as complicated or as in-depth as you would like to make it. And so this is called a paycheck budget. It is available in our shop as well. You don't have to go this route, but this allows you to track everything on a monthly basis. And then also you can drill down week by week if you want to go even deeper with your paycheck, your bills, cash envelopes if you do that, sinking funds, debt, and savings. And then there's an expense tracker here. So I'm just throwing that out there for you, but there's so many different budget planners on the market. So just find one that suits you best so that you can track what you need to track. So budgeting, definitely something that you should implement, and it helps me to start my month off right. Financial mindset and just getting your finances in order just gives me a sense of calm. You know, if I have it at least written down, you know, it doesn't always go according to plan, but at least if you have a plan for it, it's more likely that you're going to succeed with it. The third thing that you want to do in your planner to start the month off right, you want to set your goals for the month. This is incredibly important. It's a super important task to do at the beginning of every month. Setting goals really help to remind you of what you want to accomplish and the monthly steps you can take to get there. So I would definitely say goal setting. And again, this does not have to be a complicated process. I do have a personal section in my planner where I have my goals vision board, and I like to sit down preferably at the beginning of the year or late at the end of the previous year to write out my goals. You guys know that I had this goals vision board fold out that I created, which is so awesome, by the way. You guys have been really ordering this thing like crazy, and it's something that I assembled and I put together. I do have a video on my channel you guys can refer to if you want to see exactly how I put this together. It is a fold out. Like I said, at the beginning of this whole part of the video, ideally, I would like to sit down at the beginning of the year or at the end of the last year and write out my goals. But as you can see, I just started on personal, and then, I also did some work goals, which is great. And then I don't know what happened. So I am going to finish this because I like to make sure everything is filled in. So I'm planning on doing this, probably before the end of February. Now, these are goals that are going to take me through the whole year of 2021, but you can tackle them monthly. So of course, it's a great idea to write it in for that particular month. So what I would do as well is I would come here, I'm constantly referring to this, and I'll look and I'll see what goals I want to accomplish for that month. And I'll take that and I'll transfer that into my monthly for that particular month that I want to accomplish that goal. So this is just kind of an overview of the goals that you want to accomplish for the year. So this is just one way of goal setting. There's so many different ways, so many different journals, notebooks, and things like that you can use to goal set. I see a lot of people also making a digital list on their phone of monthly goals, and then maybe take a screenshot and save it to your phone as your background. That's a good idea. And so there's so many different options for this, but you definitely want to set some goals. So again, I would look here, see what goals I want to accomplish, and then I would come over to my monthly section of my planner, and then I would write in on the sidebar what goal that is. And then from there, because I want to make sure I'm doing that goal, I will take that goal and I'll write it in on the weekly. I do have a section here for goals, so I'll write in what that particular goal is. If it's a fitness goal, I'm going to come also and write it in my fitness planner. If it's a school goal, I'll write it in my school goal. So I know it seems like a lot, but for me, writing it multiple places is going to make it more likely that I will achieve that goal. So I also have a business planner, and the business planner is where I track my business goals. I do also have a business section, a goal section in my business planner. I'm gonna block that out because I don't want you to see that, because that is a goal that I have achieved, and y'all are going to be so excited about that. So as you can see here, these are all the things that I have achieved. Now, I didn't write in specific steps like I should have, but I did the customization sale. I did the planner launch. I did the oops bundles. I wrote this thing in a little while ago. I do still want to restock the home management box. I want to do a budget box. I did the AMXO launch. So although I didn't write in the steps, which again, I should have written them in, I achieved these goals because I wrote them down. And again, what I would do is I would take these goals that I want to achieve and I would write them in when it comes to business on my monthly layout. So that way I can see it in front of me. Then I'll take that and I'll transfer it to my week. If it's something that I really, really want to see in front of me, I'll even transfer it into my personal catch-all planner. And so for me, again, if you're a person that loves to journal or write like I am, it doesn't seem like a huge task to write them in multiple times. If you're a digital person, you can take the same concepts that I'm showing you guys today and just take them digital. So goals, 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 y'all. The only way you're going to be able to achieve those goals is by writing them in somewhere. So the fourth thing that you want to do in your planner to make sure that you have a great month and that you start the month off right is you want to do your monthly to-do list. So typically how I track my monthly to-do list is I'll come here in the monthly and I will track that right here on the sidebar. So this is really a to-do list with larger and higher importance items than a weekly to-do list. And so this is going to be things such as bills that need to be paid, appointments that need to be made, deadlines due. And it's really a good idea also to keep in mind your monthly and yearly goals as you think about what needs to be accomplished this month, as well as what you would like to accomplish this month. So all of that can be written out on the sidebar here like you see I've done, or you can take a sheet of paper and pop it in and just write like a master to-do list for the month. And then you're going to divvy those items up on those days. And so after I've done my monthly planning, writing in my appointments and things I know are going to occur, then I would come and write out a master to-do list of everything that needs to be done for that particular month. The fifth thing that it's a great idea to do every month to make sure that you have a great month is to schedule your cleaning, figure out what you're going to do to keep your house tidy and in order. So you guys know that I have a home section in my planner, and that is where I track all things that relate to cleaning, decluttering, organization, home projects, anything like that you want to keep in mind and go ahead and plan it out so that you can make sure it happens at the beginning within that month. So I have this Come Clean challenge, and within this challenge, I know it's from January 2016, but I use this as a guide to help me in cleaning and decluttering. So I have that here. I also have a daily schedule of things that I want to make sure that I'm doing every single day. And then these are the cleaning inserts that I use also to kind of jot things down, and then I'll pop one of these in the weekly. And then the main thing that I do is zone cleaning. So I'm going to be doing a video on my channel soon to show you guys how I zone clean. It works better for me to split up my home into zones so I can make sure that I'm tackling those zones and it doesn't become as overwhelming. So I was going to film that video today, but I realized that it's probably not best yet because I am on Wild University. If you guys didn't know, it's Go Wild's online platform, and I did a zone cleaning video for them. So make sure to head on over there. I believe I have a link below if you want to sign up for Go Wild or Wild University. And I did a video for them pertaining to home zone and zone cleaning. And so maybe in a couple of months or maybe in a month or so, I'll go ahead and do a zone cleaning video here using these inserts. But these have been super helpful. I do already have one filled in. I just keep this in here because I am going to be doing a video for you guys and I want to make sure I have it available for me. But I have my zone cleaning thing already written in and broken down, and it's in another planner. So I use that for reference. But this is great because you can break down, break down your daily cleaning tasks. You can draw a map of your home. So you can color code it. I'll show you the whole thing. It's actually, zone cleaning is life. I love zone cleaning. And then you create your zone checklist here. And then lastly, you'll go ahead and do your cleaning schedule. There's a few pages of that. So this is super helpful. It has been so helpful for me in zone cleaning. And so I'm going to share with you guys how I do that. But you'll want to, at the beginning of the month, go ahead and figure out what you're going to do in terms of cleaning. Who's going to do what? If you have chores to divvy out, if you have kids like I do, who's going to do what, And again, I am typically writing all of that in on my monthly calendar so that way I could see everything all on one page. And so the best way to start this out, in my opinion, is to create a list of cleaning tasks that need to be cleaned every month, especially if you're not going to be doing the zone cleaning method. Just take a sheet of paper and write out every single thing that you know that needs to be cleaned every single month. Think about things like cleaning the shower curtains, cleaning the fridge, dusting ceilings, fans, etc. It's not fun, but we all have to do it. And you also want to plan in your deep clean. Doing a deep clean is going to help your home feel, of course, be more clean, which helps you start the month off right. And you don't have to worry about cleaning those items the rest of the month. So you can do, you want to definitely do that deep clean, but then you still are going to have to do your daily tasks. But at least you know that those items that you've deep cleaned already, you're done. You don't have to do those anymore. They have been completed. You can rest easy. You know that the house is in order, and it just gives you peace of mind. And again, that's just a great way to start your month off with some sanity and some clarity. So I would definitely make sure that you have your deep cleaning routine going for the month, and then also just make sure that you create that cleaning schedule that's going to work for you. So the sixth thing that you want to make sure that you're doing to make sure that you have a great month is you want to make sure that you're scheduling your appointments, your meetings, and your plans. So make sure to not only put on your to-do list, but actually go ahead and schedule everything at the beginning of the month. So what I mean by that is, of course, you've already written it in on your calendar. So you have everything all planned for, but some things may not necessarily be scheduled yet. So like I said, with this parent-teacher conference that I have to schedule, I know I wrote it in as a to-do list item here on the sidebar, but it hasn't been scheduled yet. So I need to go in and make sure I get those details confirmed. And so the same thing with every other appointment here. If there's something that you've written in that you know you need to do, but you haven't yet confirmed it on your schedule, go ahead and do that. I also go digital when it comes to super important things like Addison had a dentist appointment. I will go ahead and put it in my phone as well, just so I get that pop-up reminder to make sure that I don't miss it. And so that once you do that, it's something that you're not going to have to worry about for the rest of the month. If you scheduled all of your appointments, maybe you put it on your phone calendar, you've written it in here, you've confirmed everything, you don't have to worry about it unless something comes up and you can't do that. Otherwise, everything is already ready to go. And it also ensures that you can get the appointment dates that best suit your schedule. So once you set the dates for the appointments or plans, make sure, again, to update them on your monthly calendar. All right, so we are now down to the seventh thing that you want to do in your planner to start the month off right. And for me, this is something that is definitely not a chore for me because I love it, and that is your meal plans. And so you want to make sure that you know what your family is having for dinner. You can plan for the whole month if you choose to, and I'll show you how I do that, or you can just plan week by week, which is what I typically do. I do have a whole video on my channel on how I menu plan, but basically these are the year at a glance meal planning inserts, which are very similar to the at a glance inserts I just showed you for your regular planner. So that's the meal planner. And so you can come here and you can plan out your whole entire menu for the whole entire month, or you can just take it week by week. And so I'll come here. You guys already saw kind of my routine. I'll write it in here, and then I will also write it in on my weekly planner because I want to make sure that I know what we are having for dinner for that week. So I'll also write it in this section here. All right, y'all, sorry about that glare. I just noticed that lighting was coming in real strong. So hopefully you guys were able to see everything that we've talked about up until this point. You should have, and at least you heard me, and so hopefully you got the most out of it that you could get, with that light coming in like that. So as I was saying, as I write my menu up here, as well as on the at a glance, I also do sometimes, I pick and choose from standard meal plans, which I do have some of my menu planner. These are new so that I can go ahead and create some new meal plans. And these are just standard meal plan cards that you can pull out of here and pop it in your weekly layout so you can see it and you'll know what you're having. You don't have to think about it. You have already planned for every single meal that you're going to have for that particular day. And what we also do is we once a month have a monthly household shopping trip. And so that's where we pick up the essentials like paper towels, things that we know that we need for that particular month. And when I go week by week, that's when I do my menu planning for what we're going to have for that week. So that's week by week planning. But you do also have necessities and things that you need to order for that month. So this trip should really be for things like paper towels, cleaning supplies, pet food. For groceries, like I said, most people do that on a weekly basis. So this is really like non-perishable items. And so this is really going to help to eliminate some of the stress. Then having to add that on your weekly schedule, you can break it down and know that at the beginning of the month, you're only going to do your non-perishables, your paper towels and things like that. And then week by week, you're going to break it down and you're going to do your grocery shopping. And so remember, y'all, the start of the month shouldn't be a stress. It really should be just an opportunity to help make the rest of the month go smoother and be less stressful. And so that's why I developed this sort of routine with those 7 things that have been super helpful for me, and I wanted to share them with you all. So that is it. Hopefully they were helpful. Maybe I'll come back at another time and share some other things to fill in the gaps. I know I just gave you kind of an overview of 7 things that I do on a monthly basis, and so if you want me to drill down even deeper, I can. And so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, so much so that you'll give me a thumbs up on the video, and you'll also consider subscribing to my channel, and you'll come back by and catch another video, in which case I'll see you guys then.